Hello, I'm Steve.
And I'm Tracy.
And we are the Partners at War. 1,000 subscribers.
I know. I wish I had like a little party horn or something, confetti.
Maybe I'll try to figure something out right now on the when I'm editing. I haven't done that yet. Woo-hoo! Maybe there'll be some confetti or stuff going around, something like that. But we started in late October. I think we kind of set a goal if we could potentially get 1,000 in the first year. To get them in late January or mid-February.
Mid-February.
Was just fantastic. So thank you guys very much. That really means a lot.
It does mean a lot that people are enjoying our videos.
We haven't posted in a while. We do apologize for that. Once again, this is not our main. This isn't a job for us at all. This is purely a hobby and something we enjoy doing. We both have full-time jobs, and it's been a very busy time of the year. We've gone to a couple tournaments.
Yep. Very fun tournaments.
Absolutely. Our son's in hockey, and we travel quite a bit for that. We're filming a battle report today. We'll tell you what that is in a minute. My hat might give you a little idea of what that is. But one thing we wanted to add in is I posted on Facebook, if anybody would like to ask us any questions, we will answer them in the upcoming videos. And we're going to say that right now. If you have any questions for us about the hobby, about anything that might be on your mind, visit us on Facebook or post it in the comments below. And we do have two questions we thought we'd go over very quickly. One, Charles, these are both from Facebook, asked, what are your favorite models? That was a really good question.
It made us think. It really did. We had to sit down and think about it.
And you asked right away, what was the question you asked?
So I was like, well, is it my favorite looking model or my favorite model to play? Because those would be different things. So
we did both.
Yes, so we did both. So I would have to say that my favorite looking model is the large size Marathi.
She's gorgeous.
I just think this is such an amazing model, well sculpted, gives you so much room for making color changes and adapting it to your own personality. So I love Marathi.
Well, we did have it that it was models that we had.
Right. We had to say we have to have the model.
If you've seen our video that we posted our entire army size, we have 4 more armies since then fully painted and ready to go. So we're up in the 18 plus number of armies. So we have a lot of stuff. But there's one I haven't put together yet for my Sylvaneth build. And
we do have it, so it qualifies.
We do have it, so it qualifies. But I will be putting her together and we'll be getting her ready for tournament play and for some play. Alariel, I just think, is an absolutely gorgeous model. The Beetle is just phenomenal. So I look forward to putting her together. So I would say look-wise, those are our favorite models. How about to play?
To play, I have to say mine has recently changed. Probably a month ago, I would have jumped 100% Rockgut Troggoths. I love them. I think they're amazing. I would have played them every single day. But since I took up Flesh Eater Court, playing those, my new favorite model to play is actually the Terrorgeist. That gaping maw is so much fun. The model is so much, so visually fun to play. It's scary. I'm like, hey, my big old Terrorgeist is coming at you. But that would be my favorite model to play right now.
My favorite model is going to be a little shocking. He has won me more games than anyone else.
He's your MVP.
He's been my MVP in so many games. I don't play this army that much anymore. As a matter of fact, somebody else is playing them today. But I love the movement shenanigans and the summoning things I can do with Little Scar Bloodwrath. This guy being able to... I've made people kill him more times, or killed him myself with Blood Tithe, or with Blood Sacrifice, and had him pop up on the board on the backside, and then, since he's a hero, summon demons off of him, and taken objectives. You face that yourself.
He doesn't even look that powerful or that scary, so he's sneaky.
I think he's the most underrated, underestimated model in the entire game, and if I play Khorne, I find a way to put him in there. But especially if I'm going to do a summoning build at all. This build you'll play today is not a summoning build, so he probably would not be in. No. But those are our favorite models. We also had a question that we could do a whole talk on. What aids would you recommend for brand new gamers?
Things that would help.
And
make
that
the
was
game
off
either
Facebook also.
easier or something that's like an essential
Yes.
piece.
And that was Susie off of Facebook. And I just want to narrow it because we want to get to the battle report. But just one thing we talked about is transporting your armies. That can be such a pain in the bottom when you first start this game. And you can buy foam. We have got stacks of foam in the storage room that we have bought, never used, and we went to magnets. And of course now we do have battle foam bags with magnetic trays and magnetic sliders. We have all that. But
we didn't start out with that. So for new people just starting out who aren't sure how to transport their armies to the local game store or to a small tournament.
And we still use this every once in a while.
We actually do, yeah.
Just went and got some Tupperware similar to that devices, storage devices. Went to Home Depot, got some sheet metal. Now you got to make sure that it is magnetic. Bring a magnet with you because you will have some of these that are not
galvanized
magnetic.
versus
So make sure that if you get aluminum, it's not going to be magnetic. So you have to have it. Bring a magnet with you to test it, and then you just cut it with tin snips to the size. I screw it in on the top. I can put small. When I did this with Khorne, I would put my blood reavers sticking on the top, put them upside down. And then a lot of my bigger devices on the bottom and even on the sides, as you can see there. There's a lot of models that you can fit in one of these cheaply.
Just a storage container.
Very cheaply. They lock closed. They're in there stuck with magnets. And it's an incredibly cheap way to transport your armies. And highly recommended when you're starting out. So, if you have any questions, once again, in the comments or on Facebook.
Oh, no.
Oh, you've got one.
Back it up. I have a favorite aid that I picked up at a tournament. One of the vendors was selling, and I think you could probably use a lot of different.
I did make fun of her when she bought this.
He did. He made fun of me because.
And then the other day I spilled a bottle.
I have this little paint aid. Your large size bottles go in here and then it won't tip over. They had it that you could even screw it into the table. I've not gotten that crazy. But anyway, my bottles, I never tip over Agrax anymore. And I will not open a tall bottle of paint or a contrast paint without putting it in there.
And with contrast becoming bigger and bigger, almost the entire Nurgle army today, except for the Great Unclean One, Radagast, were done with contrast. That's when I spilled one over, so now I might be getting one.
Yeah, I had to go get this off of his table, by the way.
So little things like that, they can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
All right, so on to the battle report today.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And we're a little late in getting this out from the fact of the book's no longer new.
Right?
But
it is our first time using it.
We definitely wanted to show two different armies that can take advantage of the Everchosen book.
Yep. Wrath of the Everchosen.
So we did a practice game yesterday, and it was the very first time either of us had played those armies. Of course, I've played Khorne a lot, but taught Tracy into playing.
Okay, so I am playing an almost all Bloodthirster army. I have sat across the table from these things so many times. I am so excited to actually be playing them for the first time.
And inside the Everchosen book, what it offers is a group of pages. There's 2 for Khorne, 4 for Nurgle, 3 for Slaanesh. I don't really know why Slaanesh had to get more than some of the others. And I think 2 for Tzeentch. And I think I've got those right. If not, I apologize. But the reason Nurgle had more is Nurgle doesn't have hosts in its book.
Right.
And what the 2 for Khorne do is they get added in as slaughter host options.
Yep.
From the slaughter host options you have in the Khorne book. And we've chosen the Baleful Lords today.
Baleful Lords.
And what does that really give you?
Okay, so I get to take an additional Behemoth provided all of my Behemoths are Bloodthirsters.
So for 2,000 points, you get to exceed the Behemoth rule.
I get 5 of them! I have five Bloodthirsters. And then I'm taking from the Khorne book, I'm taking the Blood Host. And that is, you can take 1 Bloodthirster and 7 of a combination of other things. Well, since 5 of mine are Bloodthirsters, I am taking 3 units of Bloodhounds.
And it's basically demons that would come into
right.
Bloodthirsters, Bloodhounds. So you have a 1-drop army.
Did I say Fleshhounds? Fleshhounds, yeah.
So you have a 1-drop army.
1-drop army.
Wow. I am taking the Blessed Sons, which this is potentially a big boost for Nurgle players from the fact of Nurgles don't have a host at all. Now, the Blessed Sons, none of the ones in here are really that strong for Nurgle. And some of them, the fact that you really have to have Puskel Blight Lords as the main mission when a lot of people don't play them, I didn't understand some of them that they put in here. But the Blessed Sons option really is for a good Rotbringer or a Blight King build. And a big thing it does is every time you kill a Blight King in melee, you take one off the board in melee. I roll a dice on a 2+, you take a mortal wound back.
Yeah, it sucks.
In a practice game, it's not good when you're attacking
I took a lot of wounds yesterday.
From that. And once per turn, you get to use it's what's on the double, which is the command ability to let you run 6 inches for free. And that's big when you have a slow-moving army like this. But other than that, it just adds a little bit more flavor options in here. We thought we would play 2 armies with hosts from the Everchosen book.
Yeah.
And that's what we have done. So, we are playing Nurgle, got Feculence, versus...
Khorne.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's fight.
Let's fight.
And here we have 1,980 points of Nurgle. The host is the Blessed Sons out of the new Everchosen book. My general is this big nastiness right here, the Great Unclean One. I have given him the artifact, the Endless Gift. He does have the Massive Sword and the Flail. And his spell is the Favored Poxes. Right next to him, we have Rodigus. And Rodigus, I have given him the spell Glorious Afflictions. We've got Gutrot Spume and the Lord of Blights. And the Lord of Blights has the Botshell Bileplate. These are very interesting words. And that is the artifact that comes with the Blessed Sons. I also have then for the battle line 3 units of Blight Kings. I have a unit of 10, a unit of 10, and a unit of 5. And then to throw in, I've got 10 Plague Monks. And the Blight Cyst War Scroll Battalion. And that is it. 1,980 points of Nurgle.
I have 1,970 points of Blades of Khorne using the Baleful Lords from the Wrath of the Everchosen book. My general is going to be the Wrath of Khorne. He has an artifact, Black Brass Crown. And then I have 4 other Bloodthirsters, Scarbrand. I have an Unfettered Fury. And then I have 2 Incessant Rage Bloodthirsters. One of them, the one with the lighter base over there, he has an artifact, Amber Glaive. And then the rest of my army consists of 3 units of 5 Fleshhounds. I also have a battalion, Blood Host, which allows me to reroll charge rolls for units from the battalion while they are wholly within 16 inches of any Bloodthirsters from the same battalion, and they are all in the battalion, the whole army.
So this is a 1-drop army.
1 drop.
Today we are going to be playing Blood and Glory from the core rulebook. There are 4 objectives, 1 in each of the 4 quadrants of the table, and you win a major victory if you control all 4 objectives at any one time, starting with turn 3. At the end of 5 turns, if an individual controls more objectives, then they get a minor victory. One of the unique things when you are playing Nurgle is that you get to drop 1 feculent Narmal tree before sides are chosen. It does impact whoever wins which side they're going to choose. So I have dropped that. It has, of course, to be 3 inches away from terrain, 1 inch from an objective, as factional terrain need to be. We'll see who wins and if it's on my side or Tracy's side. Tracy won the roll-off, so she got to pick her side. So, of course, she picked the side with my tree. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then she deployed all of her weight over here on the other side of the table from the tree. Put these Fleshhounds back here to stop Gutrot Spume from potentially dropping in with some Blight Kings. And in my response, that's scary. I pretty much kept Gutrot on the board with all the Blight Kings, 2 units of 10 over here. The Plague Monks right in front. And then Radagast over here with 5 Blight Kings in front to help protect him. He can be far out because his big spell has unlimited range. Only needs line of sight. And with those guys being huge and flying, that's not a problem. It's kind of hard to hide them. All right, you have a triumph since you're 1979, I'm 1980. If you want to roll for your triumph.
All right, I'm going to roll right here.
All right.
3. So that gives me Indomitable. Once per battle, before you make a save roll for a friendly unit, you can say it is Indomitable. If you do so, you can re-roll save rolls for that attack that targets that unit until the end of the phase.
Ooh, that's pretty good for you right now. That's really good. And I'm going to use your same dice real fast to roll for the Nurgle Wheel. And the Nurgle Wheel starts off at 1. Add +2 to the move characteristic of all Nurgle units. Now, before we started, wanted to say we have a buddy, Sean. Thank you very much for allowing us to borrow a Bloodthirster to be able to film this. I didn't think I'd ever need more Bloodthirsters than that based upon that. And the last thing I do want to state is that in honor of Nurgle, I've not showered for 4 days. Okay, maybe that's not true. But okay, are we ready to get going?
Let's fight.
All right, who's going to go first? You dropped. She's a 1 drop, so she obviously went first. So who are you going to allow to go first?
I think I am going to have you go first.
That makes sense because I really only have that 1 spell over here from Radagast that is putting you in any threat whatsoever. Everybody raves about a 1-drop army and a 1-drop build. It's great that most of the time, almost all the time, you're going to get to determine who goes first. Unless you were playing another 1-drop build and they won the roll-off.
Right.
But other than that, it's great. She's going to make me go first. But I get to place my entire army then in a strategic response, which includes ensuring Radagast is at more than 30 inches away from the closest thing that can unbind, which Fleshhounds do have an unbind.
Yes, they do.
So his spell only needs line of sight. It has no range limitation. So that's why I placed him all the way back there. But Nurgle turn 1, counting contagion points, I get 3 points because I have Nurgle units on my side of the board. I would get 3 points if I had a Nurgle unit on your side of the board, and that's one reason to sometimes put Gut Rot back on the other side right away, but that's also at the end of the movement phase, so I don't get that in turn 1 anyway.
True.
I do get 1 extra point because you don't have any units on my side of the board, so that's 4, and you do not have anyone within 3 inches of a Feculent Normal tree, so I get D3. So I get 2 more. So I have 6 contagion points.
Excellent.
You can start summoning at 7. With that, I really only have 2 spells that I'm going to do. Radagast is going to do his Deluge of Nurgle, which if he casts it, then he rolls 7 dice and compares them to the chart. And right now with 0 wounds, that's a 4+. And for every one of those dice that's greater than a 4+, he can pick a unit and do D3 mortal wounds. And that doesn't have any range limitation. It's only line of sight. It's a very nice spell. That doesn't start out well, because that would have been D3 wounds to several of your Bloodthirsters, hoping to bracket them. My only other spell that I'm going to be able to do, really that has any impact, is the Great Unclean One is going to try to Mystic Shield on the Plague Monks. And that's a fail. With that goes straight into the movement phase, and guess what? I'm not moving.
Of course you're not.
No, I'm not moving. The shooting phase, nothing's within range. Nothing lost in battle shock. That is the end of Nurgle turn 1. Khorne, turn 1.
Super short hero phase.
All right.
The only thing, honestly, that happens in my hero phase right now is I get 1 command point. So I started with 1 because I have a battalion, so that puts me at 2. I'm going to go ahead and move to my movement phase.
Before you do that, I did not show in the video. There's my 2 command points. For the same reason, I have a battalion and 6 contagion points.
After kind of looking at my situation here, I really want to stay outside of charge range of those plague monks in case you get to go first next turn. But I want to be close enough that if I get to go first next turn, I can get into charge. So all of my Bloodthirsters, except for Scarbrand, move 10. Scarbrand moves 8. So I'm going to move everybody up about 6 inches. I am going to move this guy over here closer just to make sure I keep this. I'm actually going to move, I think, within 3 inches of your tree so that you won't get the contagion points next time. I'm going to shuffle the back guys this way, and I'm going to shuffle these guys in so that they can keep this secure.
Keep that objective?
Yep.
We talked about it. Another reason why is the Blight Kings in the Blight Cyst are able to throw the skulls given by the Lord of Blights to all units within 3 inches of him. And that would be 20 14-inch missile shots, and I know that worries you a little.
It was a little scary.
That's a little scary also.
So
Tracy said, maybe I need to stay back a little bit, and it's a good move.
So I have moved all of my Bloodthirsters up about 6 inches. We measured, I am 18 inches from there. Just past 18 inches.
That's an 18-inch stick right there.
Even if he moves his 4, I'm still out of shooting range. I did move just under 3 inches from his succulent narmal so that he won't be able to get those contagion points. And now I'm just set up for the next turn because I'm outside of my shoot range. I can't charge, and there's no battle shock. So that is the end of my turn.
Okay, into turn 1. That's a quick turn. Going on to turn 2, and this is, of course, the all-important, I don't think this is as important roll-off as some other times. That might be later in the game.
Yeah, sometimes I'm really scared to roll off. Ooh. So it's you.
Yeah, that's a tough call. Here's what's going through my head right now in choosing who to go first. I can let you go first, and then I can go for the back-to-back between turn 2 and turn 3, which is a great time to get a back-to-back. You're going to hit your charges. You're going to shoot in with your blood fail. It's a blood fail from all the times if you've seen our previous video. And that does a lot of damage. On the other hand, if I go, I can put the Plague Monks up to stop you for 1 turn and make you fight the Plague Monks. Get some damage, hopefully, from my spell on top of you. And then if I go first next turn, then I can counter. And I think I'm going to do that, Trace. I think I'm going to go first.
You're going to go first?
Yes. The wheel actually turns at the beginning of the turn. We start on 1. The wheel goes to 2, which is Fecund Vigor. Add 1 to the wound rolls of all attacks made by Nurgle. Start of my hero phase, I get an extra command point. Contagion points. I get 3 for having units on my side. I get 1 because you have no units on my side. I do not get it for the tree because you're within 3 inches. But what I do is, you're giggling because I said do. And on a 4+, you get 1 mortal wound. 4+, hounds take 1 mortal wound for being too close to that nasty tree. Spells. Rodicus is going to cast his Deluge of Nurgle. It goes off on a 7. That's a 7.
Ooh, I'm going to try to unbind it now that I've moved my flesh hounds.
They have moved within 30.
Yeah, we're within range. Oh, no.
So it does go off. I look at the Deluge of Nurgle table, which is a 4+. And I roll 7 dice, and each one of these dice that's a 4+, I get to pick 1 unit that I can see, and they take D3 mortal wounds. They have to be different units. Ooh, 2. That's it. Rodicus camera view. You can pretty much see all the Bloodthirsters, can't you? All right.
They're not exactly inconspicuous.
No, they're not. So this one right here does take 3 mortal wounds. I'm going to go with your Wrath, your leader, and he takes 2. The Great Unclean One is going to try to cast Foul Regenesis, and with that, I'm going to try to change the wheel and pick the number that I want. This is a casting value of 7, and it's a fail. That was pretty big. I was going to move it to +2 movement, so they might have gotten those skull shots off on the Bloodthirsters. With his second spell, he will cast Mystic Shield, and that does go off with a 7.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to unbind it, and it's a +2, so it's only a 6.
The Plague Monks have Mystic Shield. I am actually measuring the size of those bases, and they're just shy of 5 inches. Because I want to make sure that I don't move the Plague Monks up far enough that on a successful charge, you can't plant the Bloodthirsters in between them.
Smart.
I have nobody within range. I have moved them. Only Scarbrand could fit in there. You can bring him in alone if you want. I did move the Blight Kings up a little bit further around that objective on that side. It's almost trench warfare, just waiting for the battle to happen. Top of turn 2 is over. On to Khorne. Bottom of turn 2.
My turn. So my hero phase really only consists of getting an additional command point, so I'm up to 3. Those are going to come into play pretty soon, so I'm glad I have 3. I am going to start running. I'm going to start here with this one. 3, so he's going to go 13.
Okay.
So next I'm going to run Scarbrand. He has an 8-inch move, and he's going to get 3 more. And then lastly, I'm going to run Raid. Way out to here. Okay, the other 2 are just going to move regular because they have shots and I don't want to waste their shot.
precariously placing those guys up there. Sometimes bloodthirsters have to show their hind end if they want. Okay,
Things are in the way.
so that's the movement. This first rage coming over this direction. Scarbrand, Wrath, Fury, and the second rage. All right, shooting phase.
I actually have 3 of my bloodthirsters that have shots, but since Scarbrand ran, he is not going to be able to use his. But I do have the Fury and the Wrath.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go with Fury first. He has a 12-inch range, so I'm actually going to target, since I'm not in combat with anybody, those, what are those? Blight
Kings?
Yep, Blight Kings
Back here?
back there. He has 4 shots, 3/3, -1 rend. Okay, and he gets to reroll once because he is a bloodthirster.
Locus of Fury is what we forgot in the first game, and we're not going to forget it again. The question is, can you use it in shooting? You can reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Khorne Demon units while they're within 12 inches of a Khorne Demon hero, which of course he is. It doesn't say in combat.
Right, melee. It just
So yes, you get to reroll that 1 right there.
or better, but I'll
better.
take a 3. All right, and then 3s to wound. 2, -1 rend.
Blight Kings have a 4+ save, so these will save on 5s. Neither saved.
D3 damage. 5.
3, 4, 5. That will actually kill the hero from this unit, which the Blight King hero gets +1 wound. They normally have 4, so the first 5 wounds is usually done to the person that's the hero. I will take him off, so the hero is dead. That's 5 wounds.
So then I have Wrath of Khorne, and he has an 8-inch attack and a 12-inch attack. So the 8-inch, I think I'm only going to be able to target the Plague Monk.
It's an ability on a 2+, you do D3 mortal wounds to the unit.
And I got the 2.
All right.
So I'm going to do D3 wounds, 1.
So a Plague Monk is dead.
So then I'm going to go on to the Blood Flail, 12-inch attack. So I am going to attack the Blight Kings back there. It is just 1 die, 3+. Oh.
You reroll 1s.
And I do reroll
reroll
ones. Yay
ones.
me.
That's why I always call it the blood fail. It is not. It does flat 6 damage on a 3/3 -1/6, and it never works. Welcome to the blood fail. Okay, this is a good opportunity to go over that Everchosen book and how it combines with the Khorne book, correct?
Yeah, charging is a big part of this Baleful Lords host from the Everchosen book. So what it does is it allows bloodthirsters to run and charge. So it doesn't matter that a few of mine ran. Also, the command trait for the Baleful Lords host is called Thirst for Carnage, and it is +1 to charge for those bloodthirsters within 8 inches of my general. So this rage over here does not qualify, but the other 4 do.
And it's within 8, not wholly within 8.
Right, just within 8. And then I also have the Blood Host Battalion, which allows me to re-roll charge rolls if I'm within 16 inches of a bloodthirster.
Okay.
So I have a lot going on in my charge phase here. All right, I'm going to start here with Rage. I got a 5,
Plus
plus
one is
1
a
is
six.
6, and that will get me into the Plague Monks. Fury is going to roll
It's an
8
8
plus 1.
plus 1's a 9. He's easily into the Plague Monks. Wrath?
Ooh, 9.
9 plus 1's
So
10.
So he's going to get in there.
He's right next to him.
Garbrand?
All right.
Got a 4. And then the last Rage.
That is a 6 and a 2. 8 plus 1's 9.
All right, so this one's going to come right here.
Now, why are you measuring to see if they're all 6 inches away from those Blight Kings?
Because at the start of my combat phase, I'm going to use a command ability which allows bloodthirsters to pile in 6 inches.
For anybody that ever wonders why Fury, because he doesn't seem to do the damage, he has the best command ability of all the bloodthirsters in this build. He is the one that's going to allow them all to pile in 6 inches, but these guys are in the way.
So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping that my Scarbrand right here is going to wipe them right out of his way.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
That's what we're going to try for.
Okay, we go on to the combat phase.
Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use up my command points.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them, because the first one I'm going to use is Unfettered Fury's command ability. All Khorne demons wholly within 16 inches of him get to pile in and attack at 6 inches.
Okay, so when he does that, they're all going to have 6-inch pile-ins.
Right.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the Wrath of Khorne's command ability, which is to choose one unit wholly within 16 inches, and they get to reroll hit rolls.
And you're going to choose?
I'm going to choose both Scarbrand and the rage that's on the end here.
And that's 2 command points.
Two
using the command
points.
ability twice.
So that means I'm down to 0 command points.
All right.
I'm going to start with the rage out here on the end. He's not bracketed yet because he's only taken 3 wounds. He has 5 attacks, 3 to hit, 2 to wound.
And he rerolls ones.
Roll ones.
Oh.
Yay. Okay.
2 to wound and 6s explode.
Ooh, oh my goodness.
They all wounded,
They
but
did
no
no
sixes.
But
But
wow.
no 6s.
He was like just grazing them.
Yeah, but that is, so it didn't damage everybody else, but that is -2 rend. The rend is, I don't get to save, and that's D6 wounds apiece.
So let's see how we did.
Yeah,
So 12,
that's all of the Plague
16,
Monks.
17, 18, 19.
But the Plague Monks have a nice special ability when they get killed in combat.
I don't like it.
While a Plague Monk unit includes any standard bearers, each time a model from this unit is slain by an attack made with a melee weapon, before the model is removed. So it's individual as each model is removed. Roll a dice, and on a 6, pick one enemy unit within 3 inches, and it takes a mortal wound. So I'm just going to go with that first guy. That's a 2. Second guy, 5. Third guy, 1. 10. No mortal wounds.
Oh my.
And they are all off the table. And you get what?
Blood tithe point.
Oh, your first blood tithe
My
point.
first blood tithe point.
Now it goes to me. I don't have any models that are eligible to fight, therefore I have to pass. That does not mean that I cannot fight in the future. Combat is over when both sides pass in a row. So now it's coming back to you. Are you passing?
No.
Okay. And the issue here is one of these guys is going to move in, then I'm going to be able to attack back. So it's almost as if you're sacrificing one of them potentially. Which one have you chosen as your potential sacrifice?
Well, this rage here is willing to give his blood to the blood god.
And if he only has to be 2 inches, you're probably going to limit the number of guys that can actually pile in also. Well, those 4 are dead. One of them was my leader with 5 wounds. That's 17 wounds, and that guy has 3 wounds left. So that's it. Now it comes to me.
Your
You have a
turn.
unit within 3 inches, so I will pile in an attack. But hold a minute. I took the Blessed Sons, which anytime one of these guys dies, and 4 of them died, and on a 2+, you take a mortal wound.
I don't like it.
3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal
right.
wounds keeps him at his top strength. He's at 11 wounds. But that is what the Blessed Sons gives you when you take a bunch of Blight Kings.
Which is actually really good.
It's really good. By her staying 2 inches away, they only have a 3-inch pile and a 1-inch range, and the only 3 of them are going to get to attack. So they have 3 attacks apiece. They are hitting on 3s, but the big thing here is when they hit with a 6, it does D6 hits.
I don't like it.
That's fantastic. And there is, I only rolled 1 6. So I'll take this miss, and that turned into 5 hits. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I rolled 9 dice. Nothing like rolling 9 dice to hit and getting 10 hits. These wound on a 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I am the Blight Cis Battalion, -1 rend.
5s.
I
1,
got 2.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So he
So
takes
he's at
6.
5.
He's at 5 wounds. So he's definitely bracketed. All right, you decided to go with Fury, and understandably, he probably does less damage than anybody else. His big thing is the command ability, and now you're in combat. You don't have to worry about the 6-inch pile-in anymore, do you?
Right. Go straight right in there to get just under 2 inches. He gets 6 attacks at 3-2, which is a good thing.
Oh, 2 ones. Wound on a 2. Oh, 2 misses.
So 3 at -2 rend.
These will 6. Save 1, 2 go through.
D3 damage. 3.
One of them has 1 wound left. That was pretty anticlimactic.
Oh, stop.
Now I will pile them in an attack. And I'm thinking this is goodbye Fury.
Aw, I like Fury.
After the pile in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are going to be able to attack. 18 dice. Hitting on 3s, 6s explode. So those are 3d6 hits. 11, 12. So 23 hits. 23 hits, wounding on 3s. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, you're using it?
This was my reminder that I have the Triumph, so I'm going to spend it so I can re-roll saves.
Okay, 5s. pretty good for 5s and 6s, and you get to reroll all those.
Yeah.
Oh, that saved 4 more wounds.
Nice. So 2, 4, 5 he takes.
He takes 5. He's got 9 left.
So I am going to use my 6-inch pile in here with Scarbrand. There you go.
Those great unclean ones back here going, what's going on? I like how he covers himself at least. He is in his raged form if he did not attack in either of the combat phases from the previous turn. And of course, he didn't attack in the opening round of turn 1, and he missed out turn 2 attacking, so he is enraged.
Which means that he gets to use his bottom line, which is his best attack.
Which is best attack. He is somebody who gets better as he gets more angry.
He gets 9 attacks. He hits on a 4, but I did use the command ability so that he can reroll fails. And then he wounds on a 3. Ooh, that wasn't bad.
Boy, you wish you would have gotten that with the rage.
Could you
That would have been
imagine?
12 mortal wounds to anything within 8 inches. Wow. -2 rend. This saves on a 6. 1 saves. 3 go through. What's the damage?
3 each.
Wow, 9 wounds. 2 died. Scarbrand takes 1 mortal wound. But you have your other axe.
Right. The Carnage.
Yeah.
And it is a 1+ to hit.
And when it hits, it does.
8 mortal wounds. And then if I roll a 6, it's 16 mortal wounds.
Yes. That would kill the unit.
4.
Nope, 4. So that's 8 mortal wounds. 2 of them dying. Roll the exact same thing. 1 mortal wound. I have activated everybody that is eligible, so it goes back to you.
And I still have one
And
more
you still have one more
attack.
guy.
Wrath. He's going to get just within 2 inches. So he gets 6 attacks, 3s to hit, 2s to wound. And
he
rerolling
rerolls
1.
that 1. Hell hit.
Ooh, all of them.
Hell wound.
-2 rend.
And it's what? On 6s, the normal 4+ save. So 4 go through.
4 of them at D3. So 6, 7, 8.
7, 8. I'll move that one to that one. 2 guys go away. He takes 1 mortal wound. I keep on rolling a 1 every time that happens. Dice are killing me.
That would be Bloodthirsters are killing you.
Yeah, well, that is true. That's the end of combat. I used a command point, so I'm down to 2 to make sure that these guys do not run. I am within distance of my general. That is the end of turn
2.
I do think I'll be going first this time.
I bet you will.
Yes, I will. The wheel moved to 3, the burgeoning. Roll a dice for each unit within 1 inch of a terrain feature at the start of the hero phase. Roll on a 5 or more, the unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Nurgles ignore it. Within 1 inch would be this guy right here. And yes, he takes a mortal wound.
All right.
Your guys in the back, they take a mortal wound. All right, contagion points. I get 3 points for being on my side. I don't get the 1 point because you are in my side. And I don't get to roll for the Feculent Narmal because you're near the tree. Now that's big because that turns my current 10 to only 13. 14 is the number when I can really start summoning some things back.
Gotcha.
I could summon a unit of 5 Plague Bearers or 1 Nurgling base for 7. But that's it. That's all I've got right now. Also in the hero phase, the Putrid Blight Kings have an ability. I roll a d6 for every unit, friend or foe, within 3 inches of a unit of Putrid Blight Kings, including that unit themselves. On a 6, the unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. Nurgle units heal d3 mortal wounds. It's kind of like the Sylvaneth trees. You have to do all that rolling, and on a 6+, it just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's
It's a lot of rolling.
It's a lot of rolling for not much of an impact on the
Although,
game.
had you done this one, he would have been down to 1.
And it is D3 mortal wound, so it is actually not horrible. I'm using this to see if I can draw a straight line from the closest point. I think so. I can hit both those right there. It hits both those Bloodthirsters for Plague Wind. He is going to cast Plague Wind. Successfully cast, pick a point 14 inches from the caster. Draw an imaginary line between the 2. Each unit crossed by the center of the line suffers D3 mortal wounds. And this goes off on a 7. It goes off
So I'm going to go ahead and try to unbind that
with Wrath.
with Wrath, and he gets +2. Nope.
And that was a failure. So, D3 on this front Fury takes 3 mortal wounds. Rage takes 1 mortal wound. Rodriguez is going to cast Deluge of Nurgle. Once again, that is a 7 to cast. 4. Missed it. That would have been a lot more D3 mortal wounds. Now he's going to cast Foul Regenesis, which is a casting value of 7, to attempt to try to move the wheel to where we want. That is an 8.
All right, I will
Your
try
dogs.
with my Flesh Hounds.
7.
Nope.
So I get to pick where I want the wheel. I have chosen 5. Nauseous Revulsion, which is reroll wound rolls of 6 or more for each attack made by enemy units. So your explosive axe that does a nuclear bomb on a 6, you'll have to re-roll those if that happens. That's
Great.
fun. Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
I was going to cast Favored Boxes, which is another spell that will take -1 to hit, -1 to wound, -1 to save. But it goes away the minute he moves, which is kind of odd. So that's really making him a stationary person, and he needs to attack right now. I need to get him into combat.
He moves,
Cast a spell or saves, which would also mean that don't use that as your first spell if you do want to use that. You got to do it as your second. I also go to 3 command points. But I'm just going to do Arcane Bolt. I will do that on your leader. 1 mortal wound. During my hero phase, forgot to roll to see whether they take a mortal wound. Then they do.
So 1 dice.
1 dog dies. I move the Great Unclean One up, Gut Rot Spume up, and the Lord of Blights around. And now I go to the shooting phase. Shooting phase, the Lord of Blights is going to give his ability off to the local Blight Kings. He does not have another unit within 3 inches to be able to use his battalion ability to give it to all of them. So that all 7 of them are going to get to throw the Munificent Bounty Death's Head.
Okay, we'll go with that.
They're going to throw it at rage all the way over. No, they have to throw it in combat. So they're going to throw it at your leader.
Okay.
Your leader is within 3 inches, so they're technically engaged with him. So all 7 are going to go at your leader. That is a 4/3, no rend, 1 damage.
Woo.
Okay, that did nothing.
And I was really worried.
And then the Lord of Blights himself will do his thrice ripened Death's Head. But this is a 3/3. This is -3 rend.
Oh, well, I can't. Well, 4, yeah, no, I can't.
D3 wounds. Takes 3 wounds with that.
All right, so he's down to
Boom! Hit you with a stinky head.
boom.
The Great Unclean One has a missile attack called Noxious Bile. Wonderful names. 7-inch range. He's going to shoot at rage, actually, right there. Try to kill one of those guys off. And that is D6 attacks. 3 attacks. Hits on a 3. All 3 of them hit. Wounds on a 2. All 3 of them wound. -1, -2 rend. So 6 plus 6.
Sixes? Nope.
Nope, 1 damage each. So he takes
he's
3
at
wounds.
1.
He's at 1 wound. Yep, Gut Rot will go first. It's a 7-inch charge.
You're going to spend a command point?
Yes, I am. I have 3. Oh yeah. That's a good image right there. Great Unclean One is a mountain of loathsome flesh. How's that sound for you?
Yeah.
After he completes a charge, I roll a die for each model within 1 inches. Each unit within 1 inches. That'll be both Scarbrand and your leader. And on a 4+, they take D3 mortal wounds.
So for who?
Scarbrand,
Okay.
he takes
2.
2 mortal wounds.
So he's at 10.
For your leader, oh yeah, he takes 3 mortal wounds.
Oh, he's at 4.
Scarbrand just got some blubber all up in there.
Nasty.
See those little tentacles in there, Trace?
Oh, I don't want the tentacles.
Yes.
You keep your tentacles to yourself.
He gets to pick a model. Since he has more wounds and he has more guys around him, I'm going to pick him. And I get to roll a dice. And on a 4+, I get to pick one of your weapons that he's wrapped with his tentacles and you do not get to use at this combat phase. I'm going to take that big mighty axe right there. Oh, so that axe does not get to attack this combat phase.
I said I don't think he should get to attack this turn because he's busy holding onto my axe.
His axe is in his other hand. The tentacles are coming out of the chest. They're not from a hand. So see, he's got an axe right there in the tentacles.
He's a talented guy.
He's a very talented guy. I am going to go with a very odd choice, and I am going to go with Gut Rot first. I even thought about going with these 2 Blight Kings at Rage. Of course, the obvious is to go to the Great Unclean One, but he's durable as all get out. But if I kill your leader, that really changes quite a bit. So yes, I'm going to go with Gut Rot. Now, Gut Rot Spume has an interesting ability called Towering Arrogance, which he gets to reroll hit rolls of 1 against heroes.
Sure thinks a lot of himself.
Yes, he does. So he has got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, and wounding on 2s. They both wounded, -1 rend. And he does have a 3+ save because of his artifact.
His brass crown.
His brass crown, which came with the Baleful Lords, correct?
Right.
So this is on 4s.
1 saved.
1 saved, that's 2 damage. So he's
Ooh,
down
is it
he's
2?
down to 2. And then I have D3 attacks with my flailing tentacles.
Which are tied up, by the way.
Yes, they are, but he's still able to do it. He hits on a 2, rerolls 1s. They both hit, wounds on a 4. They both wound, no rend.
So 3s, come on.
Roll a 1 and a 2. Roll 1 and a 2 and he's dead.
Ah!
1, 2. So he's down to 1.
He has 1, but he's still gonna get to it.
He's still going to get to attack. That did not end up. I was really hoping to kill him with that. Who are you going with first now? Well, this is a tough call all around. Tracy's going to decide with 1 wound left to go with Rage to kill off probably these Blight Kings, because
Hopefully.
if not, they're just going to kill Rage.
Right, he's only got 1 hit point left.
Okay.
So he's down to 3 attacks, and it's a 4-2. Rerolling 1s.
2 hits.
2 wounds, -2 rend.
None are saved.
D6.
Is it still D6?
Yeah. Yeah, because that
It's
doesn't go
always
down.
D6 on that.
Oh, no.
9, that does kill the unit.
Shoot, blood tithe.
You might be getting another blood tithe,
Oh, stop.
because when they die on a,
Oh, that's
they do a mortal
right.
wound, and they did kill Rage back.
2 blood tithes.
So that's 2 blood tithes, but at least you're able to get that unit off there before they killed you back. Being new to this, I wish I would have used a command ability that he has in the hero phase, which would have given a Nurgle demon unit, which he's a demon unit, +1 to all their attacks until the next hero phase. That would have been huge. I have 2 command points, so I wish I would have. That's the things you do when you're playing a new army. You look and you go, oh, I should have, knowing how serious this was, I wish I'd have done that. But I didn't. I'm trying to get both these guys gone. So I am going to actually take my 3 massive bile swords against Wrath, and I'm going to use my 3 plague flails at 2 inches against Fury.
Okay.
So let's go with the plague flails against
Let's call him the right thing now.
plague flails, and use them against Fury, and that's 3 attacks, hitting on a 3 against Fury. Yes.
Okay.
Wounds on a 2. It's 2 wounds, -1 rend.
Okay, so 5s.
Oh, he's not going to kill him. They only do 2 damage each.
Nope.
No, so he's down to 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
And now the massive bile sword. He only hits on a 4 with these, though. Oh,
That
yes.
works.
And he wounds on a 3.
Oh, man. Oh, wait. I have an answer for that.
Oh, she's going to get it. We just bought this at a recent tournament.
Look it. Dice jail. Dun, dun, dun.
You have been sentenced. He has 1 wound left. That's -2 rend.
And he lives.
Oh my gosh. No, I have a host of Nurglings.
What?
I should have said that they'll attack him. You're going to give me that. I forgot about the host of Nurglings. It's a 5/5, no rend 1. 1 Nurgling. This guy's going to kill your leader. No, he didn't.
No, he's not.
The Amberglaive gives him a 3-inch attack. He doesn't even have to pile in to attack them.
So bracketed, he gets 5 attacks.
Normally at a 4, but +1 with the Amberglaive.
So yeah, so 3, 2.
And you reroll 1s, of course.
Ooh, won't need
They
it.
all hit. No 6s yet.
Wow.
On that explosion from any rage attacks.
So 4 though at -2 rend.
I saved 1.
Okay, so 3 at D6. 9
6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 right there. You take 2 wounds back.
goes to 8.
I've really been bad on those 2+ rolls today. Pile in here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Blight Kings hitting on 3s, exploding 6s. Only got 1, so that's going to turn into 6 hits though.
Oh.
5, 6, 12. Once again, they all basically ended up hitting. Wounding on 3s. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at -1 rend. He is dead.
Oh man, look how close though.
I know. You only got 2 through. Just killed him.
Yeah, just killed him. Blood tithe. I'm gonna go with Scarbrand.
Scarbrand versus a great unclean one with an endless gift artifact. This is the unstoppable force versus the unmovable object. Best example of that in this entire game. Is he still enraged? Does he still attack with his maximum damage, even though he did attack just the most recent combat round?
He does get to be enraged because it says if this model is on the battlefield and did not attack in at least one of the combat phases of the previous battle round.
Last battle round, I let off the top of turn 2, and there was no combat.
Right.
Therefore, he's still enraged, and he's still attacking with 9 dice, and he's still doing his 8 mortal wounds on a 1+.
So 4s to hit and re-rolling
The
1s.
4 1s you get to
Four of them.
reroll. All those rerolls missed.
4 did go through.
Okay.
3 plus to wound. Ooh, just 1. -2.
Saved. Did nothing. Now's your big axe, the other one, which basically does 8 mortal wounds on a 1+, 16 mortal wounds
On a 6.
on a 6. So that's 8 mortal wounds.
8 mortal wounds.
Now the Great Unclean One has a 5+ shrug. If I roll a 6, you take a mortal wound back.
Disgustingly resilient.
It is that, well, that's from 40K. This is called...
Oh, I thought that was this one.
No, we call it that because that's a 40K thing for Nurgle.
you
This
can
is
just
called
say it so much.
Blubber and Bile.
Are you kidding me? That's what they called it?
It's blubber and bile. It's not disgustingly resilient.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
blubber and bile. You take 2 mortal wounds, and I took 6 wounds.
Right.
You went from 16 to 10, so I am done. Going your leader?
He gets 6 attacks, 3 to hit, but since he's so wounded, it's a 4 to wound. Rerolling ones. So 3. -2 rend. Oh my goodness.
1 goes through.
Oh, 3. That's good. I'll
He's
take
got
that.
4 wounds left. So that's the end of combat. Wow. I did lose 3 here. They have a 9. I'm fine. Bottom of turn 3. And I have a feeling you got a little shenanigans
Right there.
yourself.
Right
Right
up
up
my
your sleeve.
I hope it works. I really do. I need it.
Oh, no, I forgot.
What?
He took 6 wounds. Guess what I get to do for him?
You just rolled a heal.
Endless gift. You take the number of wounds he took that turn, which was 6, and you roll a dice, and for every 4+, he heals it back at the beginning of the battle shock phase. It really does make a Great Unclean One
No,
a
very
durable
resistant.
individual. Oh, only got 2 back. So what do you have in store for me now?
All right, well, first I'm going to take my command points. Since I have none, I'm kind of excited to have 1 back. And then the other thing is I can spend 4 blood tithe points to pile in an attack into my hero phase.
So who are you going to pile in an attack with?
Oh, I think I'm going to use Scarbrand.
And once again, we're in turn 3. He did not attack in the top of turn 2, so he is still enraged.
Right.
And then he's going to probably attack first in the combat phase.
We'll figure that out when we get there.
It was nice knowing you, guy. He has both those axes, Carnage and Slaughter, and this is Slaughter, which is 9 attacks.
9 attacks because he's enraged. 4, 3, rerolling ones. 3s.
Wait, 6 is on the wound. You have to reroll. Just
Oh,
remembering that.
that's right.
Because of my wheel. Okay,
Oh, it's the wheel.
It's
that
the wheel.
makes him.
so you have to reroll that.
Okay.
That took 1 away. 5.
Yep.
-2 rend.
-2 rend.
These are on 6s. 4 go through.
3 each.
So 12 saves. My blubber and bile saves him on a 5/6. 6s do a mortal wound back to you. You take 1 mortal wound. So he took 1, 8. He's down to 6. And now you get to attack with Carnage. This is the roll off on a 1+. It's 8 mortal wounds on a 6, which that's not a wound roll. So you would not have to reroll that. Oh, that's 16 mortal wounds.
Well, you're going to kill him.
Yeah, you didn't want that because that's all extra dice that I have to roll, which
Dang
could
it!
skills. You did not want that. So you take 3 mortal wounds.
Oh, he's healing. At least he's still alive.
He is dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
Finally.
That's huge. That's huge.
All right, so I'm going to do my movement phase.
Scarbrand ran back here. Remember, Baleful Lords, they can run and charge. And the dogs moved. I think she's surrounding that to stop me from summoning in plague bearers around that, aren't you?
Right. I don't want you to be, because they have to be within 12 inches of the tree, but outside 9 inches of an enemy.
Which that would make it me not able really to summon in a unit.
Roar of Total Rage.
That's the roar of total rage.
Roar of Total Rage.
That's exactly it, right there. And who is he mad at?
We are actually, the tentacle guy here, we don't like him. So I'm going to roll 5 dice, and 4+ is a mortal wound. So 3.
3 mortal wounds. He's down to 1 wound.
And then my Wrath is going to try to take care of him because I don't want him to grab onto his axe.
Wrath has 2 attacks.
Yes, so I have to determine where they're going to go before I start rolling. The first attack, which is the Hellfire Breath, against Gutrot Spume.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do the Flail against these. All right, so I roll 1 dice against Gutrot Spume. On a 2+, it does D3.
Okay, so you'll kill him on a 2+. If you roll a 1, he's still alive to use his tentacles on you in combat.
I know, this is not a
Whoa,
good
this
time.
is it.
But I do get to reroll once.
No.
Oh, but it goes.
It kills him. No, you wouldn't have. That is a ability roll.
Oh, true.
But it did not matter anyway. You did kill him,
Yes.
which also gives you a blood tithe.
Oh, you're right. Because I had to clear out.
You had to clear out.
I only have one.
Remember, with Khorne, it's one of the weaknesses of Khorne versus the other ones. You spend one blood tithe, you have to spend them all, which none of the others, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh, have that limitation.
All right, let's see if it's a flail or a fail.
One attack, hitting on a 3.
All right, here we go.
And you rolled a 2.
Dang it!
And you re-rolled 1s. People are going to start thinking we're docking, we're editing this to make that thing fail.
No.
That just, it never works. It never works.
So I just have one charge for
Scarbrand.
4.
And is he within 8 inches? Yes. And he is within 8 inches of the leader, so under the Baleful Lords he gets +1, so he has a 5 charge.
All right, so I have 5. I think I'm going to come around this way. 2 reasons. 1, I don't want to pull them in because we already have them covered. And 2, if all goes well here, I'm going to want to head that way to see if I can do some damage. So I'm just going to swing around. Right there.
You're going to go with him first?
I'm going to pick Scarbrand. I need him. So I'm going to go ahead and just attack first with his Carnage.
Just roll Carnage.
So as long as...
there it is. 8 mortal wounds.
And he only has 7.
And he only has 7 wounds. Well, with how she had those split, I had to pile in, but I have to have cohesion. Yeah, I could do that, and I could get 2 guys on one, but I don't think I can get 2 guys on him. So I could get 2 on one and 1 on the other, and I want to kill the leader, so I'm going to go with the 2 on him. So these are the 6 on Wrath. Those are, wow. 7, 8 hits, 3s to wound. Okay, they're only 4 wound, and he has a 3+ save that's now a 4+ save.
All right, come on, buddy. You could do it.
He's dead.
No, he didn't save any of them.
Blood tithe point for you, though. And then the 1 attacking rage. So there's 5, 6 hit. 6 hit, there are 3s to wound. 3 wounds, -1 rend, he's saving on a 5.
5s. 2 saved, so he only
2 saved, takes 1
1. Okay, since he's wounded, he only gets 4 attacks. 3s, yep.
3 rolling 1s.
Ooh, nice.
They all hit.
And 2.
No 6s. We've not had an exploding one yet. Oh, wow.
No.
Saving on a 6. No saves.
10,
13. Well, that takes care of 3 of them. 3 wounds left. My Blessed Sons ability, I'm rolling a 1 every time with that. You take 2 more wounds.
5.
That's the end of combat. He has the banner. He's 9. He cannot run. And my Great Unclean One can't heal because you killed him.
Yay!
And that is the end of turn 3.
Wow.
Roll off for turn 4. 6.
3.
I go first. That will also then move Rampant Disease. At the start of the hero phase, pick D3 different enemy units within 12 inches of each other. Each unit takes D3 mortal wounds. Rampant Disease.
Okay.
He takes 2, so he goes to 3. And he takes 1. So they're both at 3. In my hero phase, I did get 3 more points, so I'm up to 16 points. It's 3 for having Nurgle units on my side. I don't get the 1 because you definitely have units on my side. I don't have units on your side, so it's the tree. I don't get D3 because you did have units within 3 inches. On a 4+, they take a mortal wound. No, this unit, no. His first spell he will do is Deluge of Nurgle on a 7. That is a 7. That does go through.
And I will try to unbind with my Flesh Hounds.
It's a pretty big one. 8. Oh, no. I'm going to try the spell to change the wheel on a 7. You do have another unit of dogs near.
Nope.
No. So I am going to go to 2 Fecund Vigor. I add +1 to wound rolls. That is my hero phase. My movement phase, I'm going to run this Blight King. He will go 7 inches. And that's it. That's all I'm moving right now. Shooting phase, nothing. Combat phase, nothing. Battle shock phase, nothing. My turn 4 is done. Khorne, turn 4.
All right, so I got my command point.
So you have 2 now, right?
Phase. Yep, I got 2. And then I'm just going to go straight to movement.
All right.
I'm going to run Scarbrand. I'm going to roll for it, but if it doesn't go off, I'm going to use that command point. Ooh, I got a 5. So that's
I think that's pretty
13.
good.
So I ended up not having to use that command point. So I'm going to go ahead and run him. And he got an additional 3.
We forgot, they move less when they get injured. He only has a 7-inch move now. Scarbrand
totally
stays
forget.
consistent.
Okay.
So
So I'm going to go ahead and use a command point.
So that's a 6. So
Yes.
he'll move 13 inches.
Okay, my flesh hounds are going to move. They get an 8-inch. I only have 4 of these left. And I'll run these guys towards that objective point there. And 3. So they get an 11.
Well, at least for this turn, they're just out. But turn 5, there'd be no doubt they would take that objective. Not looking really good for Nurgle right now.
All right, shoot phase.
All right, 1 shot with a dog.
2 to hit, 4 to wound.
Nope, and you miss with a 1. All right, charge phase.
I think I'm going to start with Scarbrand. 8.
You got an 8.
So he's
He is
good.
in.
What's this guy need? 6? 5.
And you can reroll charges. That's the Blood Host Battalion.
5.
Let's see, that 6 was somewhat close. Well, yep,
Yeah,
that's a fail.
These guys should need 3, and they get a 9.
And they get a 9.
One thing I learned in tournament recently is that I want to make it so that if I have both of your ends busy, you can't pile.
If both ends are busy, it makes it difficult to get the entire unit to pile.
Right.
You can still pile. I might be able to move these guys. I can still take a 1-inch marker and separate things up, to make sure they're 1 inch, and I might be able to get another guy to attack. It's just that I'm risking breaking cohesion.
So the idea is that I can keep you busy on both ends so you can't go everybody one way or
The idea is a guy
everybody
like
the other.
this right here is probably not going to be able to attack.
Right, that was what I was
Yeah, this is the bottom of turn 4, but in turn 3, Scarbrand did attack in both combat phases, correct?
Right.
So
yes.
it will go off his chart. He's not fully enraged. He's
Yes.
close.
But I mean, he's still
close.
he gets 8 instead of 9.
He gets 8 attacks instead of 9, and his axe, the other axe, goes off on a 2+ instead of a 1+.
Right. So 4, 3. Ooh, that's bad. So 3. -2 rend.
-2 rend. These are on 6s. No, they all go through.
3 each.
They took 9. I said beforehand the guy with this little thing on his head was my leader. He has
Right.
5 wounds and he has 4 wounds, so there's 9 wounds.
Yes.
But I rolled 2 dice. That did not.
Dice jail?
Where is the jail?
Dice jail.
You do not take any mortal wounds back. Oh my
Thank
god.
goodness. Oh my gosh.
So now I will get to attack, and the other 3, now they can fully pile
Now
in.
they can pile
Yes,
in,
because
yes.
of that. The 3 Blight Kings remaining. Oh no, there's another guy all alone on the other side of the tabletop. But the 3, they are going in on the Flesh Hounds, 3 attacks apiece, hitting on 3s. Remember, 6s explode. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's basically all the hits.
That's pretty amazing. It
They
keeps
wound
going
on
that way.
3s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1 rend.
Okay, 6 is
So you save 1, so you've
1
taken.
dies, 2 dies,
die.
and 1 has 1 wound.
Okay.
So they get 4 attacks each, and they are 3, 4. Rerolling ones.
Rerolling 1s because if
Focus
they're a
of
Khorne
Fury.
demon within 16 inches of a bloodthirster. All right, 5 hit.
4s. 3. No rend.
No rend. 4+. 2 saved. 1 wound.
1 wound.
And is that the end of combat?
I believe so.
Battle shock.
They lost 2 and they have a 10 bravery.
So they're good. They lost 2 and they have a 10 bravery, or they have a 9 bravery right now, so they're good also. So we are done. We are going on to turn 5.
Oh, last turn of the
That
game.
is it. Last turn of the game. Roll off.
5.
You go first.
Oh.
Yeah. The wheel will go to the burgeoning. Roll a dice for each unit within 1 inch of a terrain feature. On a 5 or more, suffers 1 wound. We looked around the board. They're even more than 1 inch away on that side. They are from there. I do not have anybody within 1 inch of a terrain feature, so that actually means nothing. Kind of a quick hero phase.
Right, I'm going to take my command point.
That's pretty much it.
So move into 2. And then I am going to move, I think. So I'm going to bring Scarbrand into within 3.
All right.
Same thing here, do you mind?
Nope.
Thank you. And then I'm actually going to retreat my dogs.
Yeah, this is a good move.
Okay, here's my dice for my run roll. So they get to move 10. So we're going to block off your ability to summon.
Back on this side.
Right. 9 inches from me here. Do you have to be wholly within so many of you?
I have to be within 12 inches of him and 9 inches away from an enemy.
Okay.
All right.
These guys are going to run. My flesh hounds over here. So they get to go 12.
And I know people watching this going, Steve, there's a way I could have summoned more things or done something. As I said, I'm new to playing Nurgle. Wow, I wish I could have got models out faster now. Shooting phase. You got your breath from Scarbrand, correct?
Yes, and I think we determined he's not enraged, so he will get 4 dice.
Doing a mortal wound and a 4+.
Right. 2.
2 mortal wounds. So now we're going straight into the charge phase.
So we're gonna charge Scarbrand. He got a 7.
That's easy.
Yes,
no
he
problem.
did.
And that's it. This combat should be quick.
So I am gonna go ahead and use a command point for my rage here. What that does is it allows him to fight as at the 0 wound line of his chart. So he's really wounded, so that'll really help in terms of the damage he can do.
But I don't think he's going to get a chance to attack.
I was gonna say, but he's probably not gonna live.
You're going with
till
Scarbrand
then.
first, so yes.
I'm gonna attack with Scarbrand because he's on the second to the last rung because of damage. He gets 8 attacks and it's a 4-3.
With slaughter. He does
Rerolling
reroll ones.
And 3s to wound.
Ooh,
2.
None saved.
3 damage each.
So that's 6. So there's 1. That's 5. And there's 6. And Scarbrand did take 2 wounds.
But regardless, that wouldn't be until he's done all of his attacks. So he
That
couldn't
is
die
true.
through it, right?
That is true. He cannot die through it. You before you apply the wounds, you go through your entire attack sequence first. So he is not at his, this does not turn his carnage into being on his maximum damage
Right.
track. He's still where he was.
Okay.
Which is on a 2+, he
2
does 8 mortal
plus.
wounds.
2+. Oh, and he gets it.
So he kills that unit,
Ooh, blood tithe.
but you might get another blood tithe here
Oh, stop.
because that unit then killed Scarbrand with the Blight Lords back.
All right.
That then pretty much is the end of your turn.
And I win. The minute I have all
The minute
4.
you have all 4.
I'm almost positive. Let me look.
Yep, Tracy wins. Yeah, I could have put Rodriguez a little closer and kept him there and at least kept this objective for that turn, which could have been a minor victory for you instead of a major victory. But either way, it was going to be a minor victory or a major victory, even with that small error. Great game.
This is a great matchup.
We had a practice matchup and this battle, and they were both this close. But we'll talk about that more in our post talk.
Yeah. Hey, you like my new hat?
Yeah. Let's see you wear that outside the house.
I don't have to wear it outside the house. I'm just gonna wear it around the house.
That was that's fun.
That was
That
a
was fun.
super
It was a
fun
blast.
game.
And that's a point of this one. We're both playing new armies. This game's supposed to be about fun. That's what it's about. We went to a couple tournaments recently, LVO and another tournament. We had a good time, but I think we might have taken one of the days a little bit. We got to win. And I think we left afterwards going, well, we lost a little bit of the pursuit of the fun with it.
I agree.
And that happens on occasion.
Yeah.
But a big thing I'm saying now is you got to find the fun. You got to find the fun, no matter where you're playing. That was fun. Nurgle, these builds of the Great Unclean One, I'll tell you what, I have a lot of people who talk about Rodriguez, just don't really see his value. He's expensive.
For the amount of
He's
points,
over
yeah.
300 points. He has one great distance spell. But outside of that, I don't see it. Maybe the Great Unclean One, try him with the bell instead of the sword. A lot of people do that to get movement. But they're just fun. I love the Blight Kings. They do the damage they can do.
Oh my gosh, those
They're durable.
sixes! How come you
And,
rolled tons of 6s in with my big axe thing?
I know you didn't
couldn't
roll
get
that
one
once. You didn't roll
6.
that once. But that is a great, fun game.
Yes.
You could see playing that over and over again
Yeah.
because it's going to be close all the time.
They were well matched.
The scenarios are going to be different. Having one where you could get 4 places across the board with my guys' limited numbers and how slow they are, I know it's probably just wasn't going to happen, but who cares?
Yeah.
Game was a blast.
Yeah, that one was a really, really good time. I think even myself, if there were multiple objectives that I had to maintain throughout the game, I wouldn't have done very well because I couldn't spread out. I had to keep everything together and kind of attack as a force.
You take either of those 2 armies and that same against your ghoul army, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Against the Flesh Eater Courts, it's over. And let's not even talk about if I brought my Zinch, my change host, that's over anyway
Well, that's
right
with
now
most.
about anybody. Or even just my Sylvaneth build with being able to teleport to the other side
Yes.
or do some
Yeah,
other
jump
things.
around the board.
Those are two good mid-range level armies.
Yes.
And if you want to have fun, find those compatible level armies and play against each other.
Right.
And that's what we want to do more. So that was not a tournament building
Those lists
episode
were not
whatsoever.
something that,
Those lists are not
we're gonna go to
powerful lists.
tourneys and
You're going to get walked over on a lot of tournaments you go. You might go 1-4.
Right.
And it could be fun or it could be frustrating the whole time. But other than that, that was a good time.
it was. And I want to thank Sean for the use of his extra bloodthirster there, because otherwise I couldn't have played that build, and that was super cool.
Yeah, we might have to get another one just to provide that, when we have to give that to Sean back, just to provide that as another option.
Yeah.
That might have to happen. And without that, other than that, please put any questions you'd like to ask us in our next video. Yeah, come to Facebook and see us on Partners at War on Facebook or on the comment section down below. And other than that,
Was that it?
is that it? We're still at the point where we don't know if that's a catchphrase at the end.
Oh, okay, ready?
Is it? Ready. I'm Steve.
And I'm Tracy.
We are the Partners at War,
War.
and
Keep playing.
is that it?
I think so.
Keep playing. Oh, we got a new addition to the household. We're becoming a zoo. How you doing?